So is Rahul Gandhi's visit to the United States a hit or a miss? Should Rahul Gandhi be seen to be taking on Prime Minister Modi on foreign soil? Was Rahul Gandhi wise to raise China Sikhism or meet Ilhan Omar? Is the BJP overreacting to Rahul Gandhi's statements? Just some of the questions that I will raise tonight. Joining me now, Shehzad Poonawalla, the BJP's senior spokesperson, Gurdeep Singh Sappal, the Congress's senior spokesperson and member of the CWC, Kaushik Singh, former Secretary, Ministry of External Affairs, and Kaushik Dekha at India Today, who tracks the Congress party for us. I appreciate all of you joining us on the show tonight. I want to start with you, Shehzad Poonawalla. Why is the BJP believe that Rahul Gandhi has erred in the United States visit? What specifically that Rahul Gandhi has said in the United States troubles the BJP so much?
First of all, Rajdeep, Uncle Sam, your good friend, is wrong. Rahul Gandhi continues to remain Pappu, and before you overreact, let me explain what Pappu is. Pappu means purveyor and propagator of propaganda unlimited. That is what I mean by Pappu before anybody else takes any other meaning out of it. And let me explain to you why. First of all, Rajdeep, when senior journalists like you, whether BJP is reacting, overreacting, rather than that, the more important thing should be that whether the leader of opposition on his first trip has been factual or not. And let me give you 3 or 4 instances. Point number 1, when Ilhan Omar meets Rahul Gandhi, obviously he knows who's coming to meet him. And this is the same Ilhan Omar, forget the fact that she's advocated and taken the stand of Pakistan on Jammu Kashmir, that she's visited POK with Pakistani sponsorship, to which the Indian government, by the way, has objected to. Forget the fact that she has moved resolutions against India. The fact is that she has even supported somebody like Nijjar. Nijjar is the person who justified the killing of Indira Gandhi and supports the Khalistani movement. And the entire blame is laid on India. Kiran Rijiju did not say that you go on foreign soil and blame Indian government. He said that you blame India or you stand with those who are blaming India on foreign soil. Let me give another example of a leader of opposition, the likes of Mr. Vajpayee. When he was the leader of opposition, Narasimha Rao, who congressmen don't consider as their own, sent Vajpayee to defend India's case on Jammu Kashmir in United Nations. And the greatness of the leader of opposition then was that he took up India's cause, not the party's cause, which Rahul Gandhi doesn't do. Let me give you another example. Narendra Modi, when he was made the prime ministerial candidate, there was an instance when Nawaz Sharif told that Manmohan Singh is a dihati aurat. Prime Minister nominee, Mr. Narendra Modi said that, look, even if Mr. Rahul Gandhi tears the ordinances of Manmohan Singh, we think that Manmohan Singh is the Prime Minister and no Nawaz Sharif can insult the Prime Minister of this country, and we condemn the statement. That is the difference between Modi, Vajpayee on one hand and Rahul Gandhi on the other. Let me give you another instance. We have 2 Sikh people on this panel, and I'm glad that you have 2 great intellectuals, great speakers of the Sikh community and of India on this panel. Please ask Mr. Sappal, that does he fear that his kada or his pagdi will be taken off, he can't go to the Gurudwara? The only time this kind of feeling prevailed was in 1984. Or if such things have happened in the last 10 years, Mr. Sappal should give me 5 instances when such things have happened. Instead, I would ask that, is Mr. Rahul Gandhi leader of opposition or is he leader of division? This kind of statement has been supported by SFJ.
I've given you 2 minutes uninterrupted.
Just one last point.
Yes.
Just 10 seconds more.
Okay.
Just 10 seconds more. I'm summing up. In 10 seconds. Let's assume that Mr. Rahul Gandhi did not give a clarification like he gave for his reservation statement on Ilhan Omar's meeting. At least today, Congress party officially, Jairam Ramesh, Supriya Shrinet could have condemned the statement of SFJ in their support. Till now, 9 p.m., Rajdeep Sardesai's show, have you seen official condemnation of Congress party on the statement of SFJ and Pannu? And this is what I say, that Modi virod karte, ye desh virod mein utarte hain.
Okay.
BJP has no problem, you go and do Modi virod, aap waise bhi gali dete ho, 9 p.m. ko zyada gali dete ho, par why do you do gali to
Okay, you're
India?
making a distinction, you're saying between Modi Virodi, you're claiming these are Desh Virodi statements. Mr. Sappal, you want to respond specifically, whether it's the statement on Sikhs, whether it's the statement today on China, whether it's meeting Ilhan Omar, and I want to clarify, she was part of a large delegation. It was not a one-on-one, and we'll get Kaushik Singh on that. But Mr. Sappal, respond to what the BJP's charge is, that Rahul Gandhi is free to go to America and criticize Mr. Modi. Why is he ending up being seen to criticize the Indian government? They're trying to make a distinction.
There are 2 different issues. One that you raised and one Shehzad raised. Problem is that the BJP people do not understand language. What Rahul Gandhi said was, there is going to be that there will be a situation where Sikhs may not be allowed, may not be. He's not talking of today. And why did he say it? Because the RSS project is Hindu Rashtra. Hindu Rashtra, and I would request Shehzad to go back to RSS Shakha and ask them, when the Hindu Rashtra will be created, will all religions be equal? When the Hindu Rashtra will be created, well, all the religions will get equal rights, equal right to profess their worship, equal rights to follow their culture. This is not the RSS project is to have a Hindu Rashtra, and this is Congress Party's political project, which reflects in our constitution that all religions are equal. And today, if Sikhs are enjoying equality, if Muslims can follow their way of life, if Bauds and Jains can follow their way of life, this is Congress Party's contribution to this country.
But will it be seen, sir, will it be seen as fear mongering when you say that even in the future there could be a situation where Muslims may not be allowed to wear a turban or a kada? Is he fear mongering? It's one thing to say that he believes that the situation with China has been mishandled. That's his right, some would say. But the other question which comes, is he fear mongering when he raises the issue of Sikhism?
When you talk of ideology, this is not fear mongering. RSS literature after literature in last 100 years have spelled it out what type of India they want. And Rahul Gandhi, if he spells out, and he is the tallest leader who takes on RSS on its ideology. And this is what has irked RSS. This is what has irked BJP. Today, will any RSS chief or top RSS official say that in Hindu Rashtra all the religions will be equal? I challenge them.
So you're saying Rahul Gandhi was making a statement about diversity and questioning the RSS on whether it would allow a diverse India. That's your point? Is that the reason?
It's not my point. If you see his entire bit, he said this is an ideological struggle of last 100 years.
Okay.
He said it.
Okay.
This is a struggle.
I've heard his full
speech in 1925.
Sure, but it is a speech that can be easily therefore misconstrued. Could he have perhaps worded it better? Could he have been more conscious that by doing so, what you have the Sikhs for Justice today, the Nijjars of the world are celebrating and saying Rahul Gandhi is virtually endorsing our view.
Who's Pannu? Who's Pannu? What has government of India done in last 10 years to take him to task? Who's Pannu?
So you condemn? So you say that you condemn?
Condemnation. Okay. Unqualified condemnation because people who threaten the integrity of India, they cannot be promoted at any level. Even if BJP is talking about Pannu, they are promoting him. They are giving him publicity.
Okay.
A person who's nobody, whom no Sikh knows. You do a survey in Sikh community. Nobody knows who Pannu is. But BJP takes his name. BJP's spokesperson take his name. They are making him big. We don't know who Pannu is.
Okay. I want to stop you. You made your point. You're saying that Rahul Gandhi was stressing on diversity. The BJP says on the other hand that he was making statements that will be interpreted as anti-India. Mr. Poonawalla, you'll have to be a little patient. KC Singh, your view. Give us the diplomatic perspective. When a leader goes abroad, are there certain red lines that you can't cross? Is it fine for you that Rahul Gandhi goes and questions whether the Modi government has mishandled the situation on the border with China? Is it okay if he goes and meets an Ilhan Omar as part of a delegation? Should he have been more careful?
Rajdeep, Mr. Vajpayee's name has been taken, and I was the spokesman of the ministry when he was the foreign minister, external affairs minister himself. So I must have made half a dozen trips abroad with him, including a very large gathering of the diaspora in Oman. And never did he raise domestic issues, opposition, attack on the opposition. So a convention which was there needs two sides to follow a convention. Now we know what's happened with the diaspora functions when Prime Minister has gone abroad. I've written about it, I've talked about it. Opposition has been attacked. It began with that. Now, once one side breaks a convention, then you can't say the other side should follow the convention. The convention is gone. And secondly, in today's world, it really doesn't matter whether you speak here or you speak in Dubai or you speak in America. It's all on social media. It's all instantaneous. It's all getting sent all over the world. Now, today you saw Trump and Harris. They were fighting with each other over Ukraine. Now you can say that Trump was anti-national because he's attacking the Ukraine policy. You can say the other. When it is a global power, when diplomacy is global, when everything is globalized, then
but should you be more careful when you meet, let's say, an Ilhan Omar as part of a delegation, knowing her views on Kashmir, knowing her views on the region? Should you be more careful and tell your interlocutors it would be avoidable to meet her? Or do you believe that is also now no longer a convention? Rahul Gandhi could not decide. This is decided by whoever is setting up his meetings?
No, there are two things there. One is how you take up an issue. I totally agree with you. These are complex issues, whether it's the Sikh issue, whether religious freedom, things like that. They have to be taken up with a certain degree of refinement, which does not get misconstrued. Now, the second thing is meeting congressmen. I was critical when External Affairs Minister had called off a meeting with a congressional committee in which one of these ladies was there, who had been critical of India. And if you remember, Kamala Harris also boycotted it and tweeted against it. She says it should not be done by the Indian External Affairs Minister. You are coming to the Congress, and it is for Congress to decide who the committee, which is the delegation which will meet you. Now, there's nothing wrong in meeting if she has come in a delegation. How do you convert people? Unless you engage her, how do you just write her off? That is not diplomacy.
Okay.
You have to engage them, talk to them, and win her over.
Okay.
She's not forever sold to the Pakistanis. That's poor diplomacy to start doing it. As I said, I'd criticize when the External Affairs Minister did that.
Okay. Let me bring in Kaushik Dekha for a moment, because Kaushik, you look at the Congress carefully. Rahul Gandhi's visits, whether it was to the United Kingdom a year ago or a year and a half ago at Cambridge University when he questioned democracy in India, now he raises issues of religious freedom and diversity. Is this part of some strategy, or is this Rahul Gandhi off the cuff, spontaneous, just expressing his view, irrespective of where the audience is, whether it's Washington or it could be Delhi tomorrow?
If you carefully notice, most of the statements that he makes, it evolves from his belief that he's seeing there is a kind of clash of ideologies in India, one that he represents, which is about love, inclusivity, and he believes, rightly or wrongly, that the BJP stands for division and all that. And that's what he's saying everywhere he goes, whether it's in India or in the US or in any other country. As Mr. Tyagi has mentioned, it also doesn't matter whether he says it here or in the US or in Uganda or any place on earth. But what he's trying to project is that India is in some danger because of the party in power. The BJP is in power, and it represents a policy or a philosophy which is very divisive and which talks about.
But are these speeches and comments off the cuff, or are they well thought of? In your view, having looked at Rahul Gandhi, does he think them through, or is it off the cuff?
As I said, the statements evolve from his straight belief that BJP represents certain ideologies, and he has to dispute that. Now, when it comes to Rahul Gandhi, as the previous speaker had said, that he should have probably worded it better. It's not Rahul Gandhi's forte to word his statements better. He has done that earlier also.
No, but he is the leader of the opposition.
He made a contradiction.
He is the leader of the opposition. He has to be every statement of yours. I just want to.
He should be extremely careful, because that is also his weakness. Because his statements are always taken out of proportion, at times intentionally, at times not intentionally. Secondly, he also made a contradiction. The statement about Sikhs that he made, that whether the turban would be allowed or not. But at the same time, in the same meeting, he also said that after 2024 elections, the fear is gone. The people have decided. So Indian democracy is either very safe and secure, or it's in danger. He also has to make up his mind on that, because he's making two contradictory statements.
The fact, Gurdeep Singh Sappal, he is the leader of the opposition now. He's not just a Congress leader. He went there as the leader of the opposition. Therefore, every statement of his will be analyzed. And while he may be right in speaking about regional religious freedom, that's his right, you have to be conscious that every word of yours will be used and micro-analyzed. Is this something that Rahul Gandhi still needs to appreciate? That you can't go off the cuff and perhaps make a statement, and that can get your critics certainly to go at you.
Rajiv, analysis is welcome. But twisting out of context is not welcome. Like just now Kaushik said that Rahul Gandhi said India is in danger. He has never said it. He said this idea of India is in danger. There's a huge difference. India as a nation and idea of India are two different things. His idea of India, which Congress party represents today and has been there for the last 100 years, is that there will be equality in this country for everyone. This is Congress idea of India. RSS idea of India is there will be dominance of one religion. Simple thing. Now, you cannot equate this with saying that he said India is in danger. Similarly, there have been attempts in last 10 years to construe his statements out of context and using the media power of BJP to portray him into a bad light.
Okay.
But after 10 years, Rajdeep, almost 75% of India, and 75% I mean 63% who did not vote for BJP and another 12% who did not come out to vote, have not agreed with BJP.
Okay.
His image in last few years has gone despite this twisting and vilification of Rahul Gandhi. So it's not question of what he said.
You're saying his
primary message was today, yes, in India, the reservation has to continue till there is fairness and equal opportunity. This is what he said. What's wrong in this? Number two, he said that Pakistan, there should be no relationship with Pakistan because Pakistan sponsors terrorism.
Okay.
Third thing he said that China has taken our land.
You're claiming
the statement he made.
Okay, you're claiming his statements have been misconstrued. Shehzad Poonawalla, before I come to you, I want you to listen to what Prime Minister Modi said.
I want to say
one
line.
minute,
I
sir.
want to say one line.
1 minute.
Just one line.
Yes.
One line.
Yes.
I would request your editorial never to show Punnu's videos on TV. He's nobody. He's enemy of India.
Okay.
Why do we glorify and publicize him?
Okay, you made your point. You are saying that Pannu should not be glorified in any form. But I just want to play at the moment what the Prime Minister said a few years ago when he was also on foreign soil. Since this argument is made, what do you say on foreign soil? And I want Shehzad to respond. Listen to Prime Minister Modi now.
एक समय था जब लोग यार पता नहीं पिछले जन्म में क्या पाप किया था, हिंदुस्तान में पैदा हुए, ये कोई देश है, ये कोई सरकार है, ये कोई लोग है, चलो छोड़ो चले जाए कहीं और लोग निकल पड़ते थे। कुछ वर्षों में तो हम ये भी देखते थे, उद्योग जगत के लोग कहते भाई अब तो यहां व्यापार नहीं करना है जी, अब यहां नहीं रहना है, और ज्यादातर लोगों ने तो एक पैर बाहर रख ही दिया था। और मैं आज विश्वास से कह सकता हूं कि अलग अलग जीवन के गणमान्य लोग, बड़े बड़े साइंटिस्ट क्यों ना हो, विदेशों में कितनी ही कमाई क्यों ना होती हो, उससे कम कमाई होती हो तो भी आज भारत वापस आने के लिए उत्सुक हो रहे हैं, आनंदित हो रहे हैं।
Shehzad Poonawalla, the Prime Minister in 2015 seemed to suggest that there was a time when it was a sin to be born in India, criticizing the previous government. Are there different rules, therefore, when Rahul Gandhi questions the state of democracy in India, questions electoral democracy, he is attacked by the BJP? Is the Prime Minister having a free license to say what he wants about previous governments? It's almost as if only post-2014 India has risen. Your response?
I have heard everybody very patiently, and Rajdeep,
no, I want you to first respond to this. I want you to respond to this, then you can respond to the others.
But then it will be on the condition, that after I have responded to your 8th point first, you will allow me to respond to the other points as well.
Sure.
And you will not be unfair to me.
Sure.
Just because the truth is incorrect.
Please go ahead.
Rajdeep, I remember covers, and don't interrupt, I remember covers right of 2009 to 2014 of the India Today magazine. I'm sitting in the India Today room, which used to say that India's story is failing. And Modi ji's statement was very clear. He didn't say, I am saying this. He said, logon mein, including India Today mein ye dharna thi that the India story is failing. But today the dharna has changed. So he has quoted from India Today's experience. Unless you think India Today magazine was publishing false news or fakery, that is another question. Rahul Gandhi, on the other hand, today has said that this is the most unfair country and I don't want to live in an unfair country. He has said, after saying that Vipaksh hum hai, par hum system chalate hain, he has said that the system is unfair and 90% people have not got anything. And 90% people have not got anything. Who ran the system for 75 years? Now let me respond to the remaining 7-8 questions. Rajdeep, you had to literally grovel before Sappalji could take a stand on the inconsequential SFJ. Till now, Mr. Jairam Ramesh, who's very handy at tweeting things, has not tweeted officially. Sappal ji ko पूछा, गिड़गिड़ाया, तब जाकर सप्पल जी ने SFJ के सपोर्ट को कंडेम किया 9:15 बजे. चलिए छोड़ देते इस बात को. केसी सिंह जी बहुत वरिष्ठ है, I respect him a lot, but he forgot that it was the same Mr. Vajpayee, despite showing the magnanimity of not removing Nehruji's picture from the Foreign Affairs Ministry, he was called a traitor by Congress leaders and even including Mr. Pawan Kheda called him a traitor in 1942 incident of Quit India movement. Anyways, that has also been forgotten. Thirdly, Mr. Sappal asked that will this Hindu Rashtra conception be equal for all? Are Hindu has been defined by Supreme Court way of life, J.S. Verma. Are you not agreeing with his definition? And I will give you example also. You know what is, you are saying future mein aisa hoga Sikhon ke saath. Are past or present mein kya ho raha hai? Jagdish Titler has been charged by a court. What action have they taken on Jagdish Titler? Sajjan Kumar was convicted after 34 years. High Court had to say political patronage was given for 34 years. Who gave this political patronage? Who is the one who said bada ped girta hai to dharti hilti hai? Who allowed Hashimpura, Bhagalpur, Meerut, Malyana, Nelli, Delhi and all these riots where Muslims got chopped? And today Anirudh Singh, who says masjid is illegal, masjid is avaid and love jihad is taking place, is that targeting of Muslims? Or in Himachal it is secular to say this? And lastly, last point I want to say. Rahul Gandhi is advocate of diversity. Wah bhai wah. DMK said Gaumutra states for North India. Rajdeep, please show me how many shows Congress people came and condemned it on. When it was said that Sanatan समाप्त करेंगे, Sanatan बीमारी है, Hindu terror है, please show me how many Congress people came and said we categorically condemn, we will take action on these statements. And when Mr. Rahul Gandhi's, his own favorite DK Shivkumar, your good friend, his brother said that South se North को separate हो जाना चाहिए. There should be independence of South India. This was pro-diversity. And lastly, I'll give you last example. See how Rahul Gandhi is smart. He wanted to clarify on reservation because Mayawati ji took up the issue. So on reservation, he came and clarified. Same thing he could not clarify on Ilhan Omar, that I do not agree with her stand even though she has come in delegation. Same thing he could not say about SFJ. But I asked him one question. If he is pro-reservation, he is not for reservation being ended. National Conference has said in its manifesto that we will re-implement 370, although I don't know how they will do it after Jammu Kashmir election. They have said that. That means that the first time the rights have been given to Valmiki, Gujars, etc. in 2019, that will be snatched away from them.
Mr. Poonawalla, there are three other panelists. They deserve equal time. The problem is that you do not want to give them the time. You've made your points. Give them the respect they deserve. I will give KC Singh an opportunity therefore. Mr. Singh, you want to respond to what you just heard? What you just heard, Mr. Poonawalla, the fact is you have answered. They must also have the right to respond to you and you must listen to them with the same patience. Mr. KC Singh.
Baba, but it is also
no,
one
Shehzad
versus...
Poonawalla, no, it's not.
One versus
It is not. It is not. Do not make these stupid comments. Do not make your stupid comments. Your laughter is stupid. Please put his voice down. Mr. KC Singh, you respond to what Shehzad Poonawalla said. You see, particularly on Sikhism, can the Congress take the moral high ground?
No, nobody can take the moral high ground. When it comes, all kinds of minorities have been targeted by all kinds of parties. Hindus were targeted in Punjab. So I am not saying the minorities are only Sikhs. Sikhs are not a minority in Punjab. So this is, I think, the lesson that we need to learn, that the politicians need to learn, that when you're highly polarized, and you saw it in the presidential debate in the morning, when a country is highly polarized, there was really no discussion on most issues between Kamala Harris and Trump. They were just beating their own drums. So polarization, which has come about in India, which has helped BJP over the last 10 years, though didn't help in the last election so much, I think it has to be reduced. There has to be a conversation between Rahul Gandhi and the Prime Minister. And the conversation has to be in India and between the opposition and the ruling party. And the parliament is the place for that conversation. Because that space has not functioned. You've removed the functioning of that space to some diaspora function in Texas, diaspora function in New York. So Prime Minister created this, a diaspora function to take on the Indian opposition. And now this is a fallout of that. I think it has to be stopped. There have to be
very
new
good
ground
point.
rules.
You make a very good point. Conventions have been broken. Hyperpolarization has taken place. And the diaspora has become a platform in a way to take each other on, which should actually be done in the parliament of this country. We end up doing it on foreign soil because spaces, even in our universities, are perhaps shrinking for this kind of open and free debate that should be taking place on home soil, and maybe also in television studios. I thank all my guests for joining me here on my talking point today. Thank you all very much.